Hey, what's up guys? Today we're playing some Legacy Cube, and let's look at our stuff. So we've got Delver of Secrets, which is always good. Allosaur's Shepherd is really good for green. Dahi Voidwalker is just a good magic card. I'm kind of bad at first picking. Awakening Zone is a magic card that exists, I guess. Coalition Relic keeps you open. Are any of these cards worth pinholing ourselves into an archetype yet? If anything, it's Dahi. This card's kind of crazy. I think I like that more than Coalition Relic. I think I'd pick up a Dahi Voidwalker, because even if we don't play it, it's just an insane card. I don't know the archetypes very well, but I play Legacy, so I can figure it out, I'm sure. Be like, oh, these are decent cards. Flametongue Yearling's good. Silumgar's good, but that's 2 colors. I don't want to pick that yet. Timeless Dragon's decent, but I'm not going to second pick it. Path to Exile's worth a second pick, though. Good removal's good. I'm passing over a bunch of good red cards, so if I pick Path to Exile, I'm probably not playing red, which is pretty rough. But I could just play black-white, kind of aggro, maybe mid-range kind of stuff. I think picking up Path to Exile is worth it. Darcy's crazy. And this is 3rd pick Great Henge. That is a card worth going into green for. As far as black cards go, Inquisition is a card. Probably Croaks is a card. That's about it. I mean, I think the 3 best cards in the pack are probably Croxa, Inquisition, Great Henge, maybe Darcy. I'm sorry, Croxa, Darcy, Great Henge. Inquisition's not bad. Do I care enough to pivot into Great Henge? Because Great Henge is actually insane. I think it is worth the speculation. I'm not sure that I'll be playing it, but it's worth having. That's a Nissa. Did I play green? Great Henge and Nissa are both insane cards. But I'm seeing a lot of black in these packs. So maybe I should be green-black? I think I want to pick up the Nissa. Because if I can... Ooh, this is getting pretty good. If I can go green, I'd like to. Oh, I'm sorry. This is... has the chat box over it. Sorry about that. Gilded Goose or Utopia Sprawl? That's the question. Probably just the Goose. The Goose is stronger than I ever give it credit for, because making foods is always good against aggro decks as well. So I've got Ash Barrens, Skoos, Tristani Discordant, Avenger of Zendikar in green. And I think I want to start hard cutting green to make sure that I get it. I like the Skoos because it's coincidental graveyard hate. And that is just so good sometimes. I would like some big dudes to go with this Great Henge, because I want some high power guys. I'm not sure when I said high power guys that I meant Woodfall Primus. I have cards in both black and white, but I'm not really pinholed into those cards yet. Ancient Grudge is always good. Target creature from your graveyard to the battlefield with the mannequin counter on it. I think I might pick Thalia. I think I picked Thalia. I don't know. Maybe that wasn't correct, but I think Thalia is just a card worth playing, and if I could play green-white, that'd be sweet. Okay. We've got Paladin class, which is probably not very good. Gatekeeper, Satyr Wayfinder, Stonecoil Serpent. I pick a Stonecoil Serpent here. It's amazing. Yeah, Stonecoil Serpent's just insane. So now that Allosaurus Shepherd has fallen all the way around, I pick it. This card's kind of crazy now. I don't think I'm playing this Dahi Voidwalker, sadly. Because Dahi Voidwalker is a busted card. If I can fit it in the deck, I will. So this is a Rex Sage or a Stirring Wildwood or a Court of Bounty or a Deranged Hermit. It's the greatest power among creatures you control. Ranged Hermit doesn't help me there. Maybe I put a land card. So maybe I put a creature or a land card. Becoming the Monarchy is important. I want to try this card out. I think that's what I want to do. Is it the best pick? I don't think so. Thrun would be really good against counter decks. I do just like having good lands though. Hornet Queen's great. Can't say much about it. This will be my 3-drop. So now that we have Court of Bounty, we can take bigger creatures. Like, I kind of hope Woodfall Primus comes around. Because that would be a heck of a time. Oh, Avenger of Zendikar is a magic card that I can put in the deck. Augur of Bolas is what came around. That's a Savannah. That makes all of our fetch lands infinitely better, and that might just be what I take. Llanowar Elves is good and all, but this just makes any green or white fetch for our colors, and I think that's just worth taking. That is a Tooth and Nail, but I don't think we're getting to that much mana. I don't think we're that deck. Prismatic Vista is really good if there's nothing else. Whenever a non-token creature dies, you may exile that card. I wish I had picked up the Deranged Hermit. That would have been sweet. Mimic Vat is a magic card that exists. I think it's between Mimic Vat and Prismatic Vista, oddly enough. How much do I think I care about Prismatic Vista? How much do I think I care about Mimic Vat? I don't think I'll be killing much of their stuff. But the idea of making giant things... If I was like green-black, I think I would take Mimic Vat. But I think right now I just take Vista. I take the Disciplined card. I be good. I take Cave of the Frost Giant because that card's crazy. Retros Fitters Foundry is also a 1-card win the game. Jade Light Ranger is good. Primal Might is really good. Retro Fitters Foundry is really slow, and I don't think that's where I want to be. I would like to be playing cards that are creatures. Jade Light Ranger is good. No, that's right. I take Cave of the Frost Giant because there are other creatures and stuff that I can take. This cave is just such a good land. I could take a Thrag Tusk. Oh, Elder Gargaroth's kind of in the running. Rook Primal Hunter. Create a beast. Draw cards equal to the highest power. Create a 6/6 green worm. They're all 5-drops, and out of all the 5-drops, I think I like this Elder Gargaroth the most. This card's wacky. I think that's the pick. Other considerations were the fetch. The fetch is good. I'm looking at Arbor Elf, Fiend Artisan a little, but I don't think this is good. Containment Priest is alright. ECD is alright. Primal Command is not bad, but this Arbor Elf is just what I want. I want a Critical Mass. Jiraga Tree Speaker is really good, but I don't think I can ever turn down a Hex Drinker. Hex Drinker is one of my favorite cards because it is so good. Steve, we are trying to ramp. Steve's probably worth it. Giver of Runes is not bad. Fiend Horn Elves, Beast Within. Beast Within is probably where we want to be, actually. I wouldn't mind taking the extra Mana Dork, but we've already got 1, 2, 3 ways to ramp, 4 ways to ramp. And we need some amount of interaction, and we have none so far. And we're getting a Llanowar Elves on the wheel. That's pretty nice. Sun Titan wouldn't be bad, but I think being able to hit our big things faster is where we want to be. Okay, so what am I hoping for? I don't remember many cards on the wheel for these packs. I think I got all the cards that I really wanted. Maybe J-Light Ranger comes around. That'd be nice. Other than that, I feel like there were some cards that I did want, and I picked like lands or something over. Oh, the pack with the 3, with the Gargaroth and everything. One of those comes around, either the Thragtusk or the Guruk. And I'm fine with either one of them. I would prefer Thragtusk. I'll take a Deep Forest Tournament, why not? It's not amazing, but it's not bad. I don't have any huge early dudes like Lovestruck Beast. So I can't play the Great Henge early. But drawing something like Lovestruck Beast, Questing Beast wouldn't be bad. I'm not upset about Primal Might. Parallax Wave is a card that I could take. Remove Fade Counter, exile target creature when it leaves the battlefield, just to kind of stall. But I don't think that's where I am. I don't think I'm a stally deck. I'll probably play Primal Might, actually. It can be in the deck. Ah. Oh, I see. I was struggling for a second there. Yeah, like I got a Garruk back, and I'm not really upset about that. I'm not sure how much I want this Court of Bounty, but becoming the Monarch is always kind of nice. Do I think I can effectively use the Monarchy? I think I can. Because I can just play fatties. I'm kind of happy to get this Primal Command back. I'll take a Legion's Landing, but I'm not playing it. Looks like Mono White was open, as it always is. I should have known that. I got a Thalia and a Path to Exile and a Cave. I feel like if I went into Mono White, this would have been a better draft, and I probably would have got a sweet deck. Turn Timber Symbiosis is good. Ranger Captain of Eos could get Allosaurus Shepherd. That's not the worst thing I've ever heard of. I could take this Kozilek just to get in on Court of Bounty, but I don't think that's what I want to be doing. The top 7 cards of your library, you may put a creature onto the battlefield if that creature has many value 3 or less. I think it's probably just Turn Timber, because this is a land that does stuff. This is a fetch land. Devoted Druid. I think I probably just want the fetch land here. Cards that I would be interested in would be Den Protector and Devoted Druid. What does Ranger class do? When it enters the battlefield, create a 2/2 wolf. Whenever you attack, put a 1 counter on attacking creature. You look at the top card of your library at any time, you may cast creature spells. That's actually pretty good. I like that a lot. If I were to take any card out of this pack besides this land, I'd probably take Devoted Druid. But I think I'd be disciplined. I think one of these green cards is going to wheel, and I'm not going to be upset with any of them. I take an Arid Mesa. I need good mana. I'm not sure that I play the Thalia. Maybe I do. Rampant Growth, search your library for a basic card. That's not bad. Faith's Fetters is a card. Oh, that's a Questing Beast. How much do I think Questing Beast is going to wheel? Do I take a Faith's Fetters? I am almost entirely out of white, so I could just not be in white. Rishadan Port is also an option. It's not an option that I'm very seriously considering. I think Questing Beast just is a house, and I would rather take it than almost anything else. You may look at the top card of your library anytime. You may cast creature spells from the top of your library. Make a beast, give it your choice of Vigilance, Reach, or Trample. Next creature spell you cast, search your library for a creature card with lesser mana. Yeah, this seems sweet. I've already got 1, 2, 3, 4 ways to ramp on turn 1. I don't think I need a 5th one. And this Vivian is better than this Garruk, in my opinion. It's a Gaia's Cradle. That's a Raphelos, though. And I don't think anybody else is taking this Gaia's Cradle. Do I think anybody else is taking this Raphelos? I'm not sure. The music stopped. There we go. I think I could take either one of them and be fine. I think out of cards that I would be more upset not to have, I think this Raphelos is kind of where I want to be. I could take an Ennoble Hierarch just because it's a 1-mana dork, and that might be what I take. I don't see anything else. Yeah, get in the deck. Search for Tomorrow. Toski. Earthshaker Giant. When it enters the battlefield, other creatures control gain +2/+2 trample. So this is like a mini Crater Hoof. There's also a Walking Ballista, and I might just take a Walking Ballista because it's a way to pay off for this massive amount of mana. I kind of like Toski. I will get 1 card back from this pack, and it is probably going to be Avacyn. I think I pick Walking Ballista. Toski's not bad, but I'm not sure it's where I want to be. I'll take the Garruk. It's just the green card in the pack. I could take Engineered Explosives, but this is only good in multicolored decks because of Sunburst. It's not going to do anything for me. The swords are alright. I'm not sure I really like them. This Garruk is just kill something and start making dudes. And that's fine by me. Now, whenever equipped creatures deal combat damage to a player, make a 2/2 and that mill 10 cards. I think I'm more likely to play Kozilek than I am to play that guy. Yeah, Den Protector. Whenever you attack, put a 1 counter on attacking creature. You may look at the top card, you may cast creature spells. This is just a creature, and that combos well with Great Henge. So I'll take that. I'll take this Rishadan Port. I'm not sure that I'll play it, but I think I play it over Rampant Growth. I don't think I'm looking to ramp that much. And Great Henge incentivizes me to play creature ramp rather than anything else. These are my big boys. I don't really care about Deep Forest Tournament. Sure, I'll take Coma. Yeah, I got a Gaia's Cradle. Let's go. I don't think I'm playing Gilded Lotus. Oh, and I got a Toski! Oh, that's actually really good for me. Okay, so let's look at this. I could play a Deep Forest Tournament. I could go wide with Toski. Play that kind of deck. That, I feel like with Gaia's Cradle, Deep Forest Tournament's actually probably better. I'm not really playing the Savannah or the Sun Petal Grove. I'll play the Prismatic Vista. Do I want to play one Savannah and Cave of the Frost Dragon? I think it's worth it. I think it's worth it. I think the opportunity cost is very low, and it gives my lands more utility. Rishadan Port, do I think I want it? Do I think I have a way not to use my mana? So mana sinks include Hexdrinker, Allosaurus Shepherd, kind of Ooze, kind of Den Protector, but not really. And then we just get into big stuff. I have 30 playables. I probably want to cut down probably cut down 6 of them. How do I feel as Garrick? I don't really like him. Primal Command, gain 7 life, non-creature permanent, library, creature card, reveal it, put it into your hand. Maybe I'm wrong, but maybe I just don't like Primal Command. Avenger of Zendikar, Hornet Queen, Turn Timber, Deep Forest. I'm not sure Primal Might's where I want to be. I do kind of like all my ramp. Is Garrick Relentless? Deals 3 damage to target creature. That creature deals damage back to him. 1/1 Death Touch. Wolf. Sacrifice a creature if you do. Use your library for a creature card. Reveal it. Put it in your hand. In Trample an XX, where X is the number of creatures in your graveyard. I like him. He's cheap and makes an army. Do I like him more than the other cards that I have? Maybe not. Maybe I can bring him in. I can bring in like the removal package. I do want to keep in Beast Within for sure. Hornet Queen, Avenger, Turn Timber. Do I take out this Walking Ballista? I think I take out either the Serpent or the Ballista. Because they're only alright. These 3 combo really well with Gaia's Cradle, but they're all there. Which one do I like the least? Maybe I don't want this Avenger. Maybe I'd just rather have the Hornet Queen and the Deep Forest Hermit. Because Deep Forest Hermit combos very well with Gaia's Cradle. All of them do, but that one more particularly. I think I'd like to keep in Kozilek. I think it's worth trying out. The real question is, do I want to play Court of Bounty? And the answer is a resounding I want to try it. I don't know if it's good. but I want to try it. I gotta take out one of these big spells, and I don't know what it is. Maybe just Stone Coil. Maybe I try that. Put in these. Sort. Mana value. Do I want to play this Rishon import? I think it's probably worth it. Add 10 forest, call it good. Yeah, let's try that. Let's play some games. Oh. Is he not gonna join? Did he forget? Ah, did we get it? Hey. You won the die roll, yes. Okay. Turn 1 Goose. Turn 2 nothing. Turn 3 Court of Bounty. And I do nothing until then. I'll keep. Do I think his hand's great? Not really. But I think the upside is pretty high, and I do go first. I'm just gonna Prismatic Vista. Because there's no point to get my Savannah right now in case I run into Wasteland or something. And if he just does nothing, it's kind of nice for me. Crack this for a green. Honestly, I kind of want to jam out Den Protector so that I can try to Court of Bounty next turn. The alternative is making a food with the Goose. And I do swing in to send a message. Yeah, I swing in to send a message. Message sent. And then if he freaking kills my tapped creature with some thing, I'll laugh. I don't care to trade here because I would rather trade this Den Protector for something bigger, and I can always block with the Goose. I take the one here. I can always trade later. That's what I have to tell myself. And he does nothing? Yeah, let's jam this. And if he takes the Monarchy, then we just kind of lose. So we hope he doesn't take the Monarchy. That is a Nissa though, and that's really big. Spectral Procession. He gets 3 flying 1/1s. So here's the question. Do I just get a Kozilek down? Because I could also just get a Hornet Queen down. NVM. He swords to Plowshare my dude. I did not notice that. So now we have 0 Monarchy. Which is upsetting. I do get to put a land in the battlefield, which isn't bad. That does allow me to Nissa. Oh, this Arid Mesa is really bad. I need to not play that. I didn't realize until now that the only card that it fetches is my Savannah. I will untap a forest and try to take the monarchy back. If he doesn't do anything, next turn I can just hard cast a Kozilek. Man, I should have taken the trade with the Thraben Inspector. I was just scared that he plays another creature. I'm like, I can always trade later. That's an Urza Saga. I'm not that scared of it. I'm more scared of him being the Monarch and drawing a card every turn. He knows that I have no lands in hand. What good information to have. It's an Allosaurus Shepherd. It's probably sitting there like, what's 8 mana? Get a lot of Hornets. I'm gonna untap a forest. Cast an Allosaurus Shepherd. And I probably won't attack right now. I don't want him to get some 1/1 flyers. I think I wait this out. Because next turn I can take back the monarchy. I can always use this forest to make a food for this goose. Voice of Resurgence. When it dies, make a green-white elemental. So on, so on, so on. I know what that card does. Cards I would really like to see here. Gaia's Cradle. Having more mana is... I mean, I'm not exactly sure what I'd do with it, but it'd be nice. I do just take the monarchy though, and I do get to just cast a Kozilek. And I get to cast a Hex Drinker. No, I want to leave one Death Toucher back. No, I don't. I don't care. I have my queen to leave back. Woo! I become the monarch 4 times. This is sweet. So I cast this. And he concedes. Let's go. So his deck's mono white, it looks like, or maybe I wasn't paying attention, but mono white that I saw, that I remember. What do I think's good against him? This Arid Mesa needs to go. I need to add a forest. Primal Might's probably good. No, actually, I just like my main deck. I'm cool with this. I think this hand's fine. This Cave of the Frost Dragon is kind of awkward right now. But it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. Maybe I should take the white out. Maybe these should just be forests. Play Llanowar Elves turn 1. Turn 2, I'll play the Scavenging News. Smuggler's Copter, good magic card. Kinda scared of it, not gonna lie. That is a Raphelos. That's probably worth playing instead of this Skoos. We play well, we attack first. And then I'll play this Raphelos. Next turn, I have almost enough mana for Hornet Queen. I'll have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a scary magic card. If I draw a Gaia's Cradle here, that would be the actual nuts. For a nice turn 3 Hornet Queen. Allosaurus Shepherd isn't bad. He makes my dudes kind of big. So what do I do here? How much mana do I have? In all actuality, 7? Oh, I'm a freaking idiot. I needed to cast this, or I needed to play this land ages ago. Maybe it's not incorrect, though. Tap Raphelos. Cast Questing Beast. Probably cast an Allosaurus Shepherd. He is white-green, I should note. And I will just commit all the way to the board. And just do this. Questing Beast is his top priority to deal with right now. Because this card is very hard to deal with if you don't have just hard removal like Path to Exile. He gets to keep swinging in with Smuggler's Copter, but next turn I can swing for approximately 1 billion. He discarded Batterskull? Dang. What a dude. Oh, that's a good combo. It blocks. I can't block. A forest here, and I probably jam Hornet Queen. Otherwise, I play Cave of the Frost Dragon. Do it that way. So I got a forest, so now we jam Hornet Queen. Begin combat. Let's attack with Questing Beast. I can always Skoos something from the grave, just for fun. Maul the Skyclaves is a magic card. Flying First Strike. Good to know. So what does Allosaurus Rider say exactly? Can be countered until end of turn. Each elf you control base power, toughness, and 5. 5 is not 6. I will have mana left over from this whole interaction anyway. But I think I am just going to Allosaurus Shepherd, make my dudes huge, and just attack out. Because I think it's just going to be really hard for him to deal with all of this pressure. He can only block 2 of it, and even if he blocks the 2 5/5s, that's still 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Yeah, like I think he's just dead. Unless he has removal, and even then... see, that's a bit different. What would he exile from his hand? Palace Jailer? Good move. So he gets rid of the Shepherd. Is able to block Questing Beast and Hornet Queen. Still takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 11. So he can't do that. Able to block Questing Beast Llanowar Elves. Takes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Down to 3. Loses his Smuggler's Copter. Oh, is he gonna go down to 1? Is he that crazy of a man? Does he survive this? Jeez. I want to see how he wins this now. Against my massive board. Cruise Up Smuggler Copters probably attacks just because he's looking for an answer. But I don't know what one card in his deck wins him this game that he's reasonably playing, besides like... So like, he could have something like Wrath of God, but that doesn't make sense for him to play. Yeah. GG's. GG's, opponent. Who knew? Raphaelos is kind of sweet. Card's huge. Give me 10 seconds. Be right back. There we go. Oh, found a match. I'm messing with stuff and it's slowing down my computer. Let's glyph him. How risky am I? I think I'm risky. Oh, I did not take out the cards I needed to take out. That is a mistake. So I turn 1 Llanowar Elves, turn 2 Raphaelos. Hopefully draw a forest. If I can draw a runner forest, I can Garroth on turn 3, Hornet Queen turn 4. That is not a forest, but it is close enough. I'll play this as a land just to make my land drops. So Raphaelos doesn't tap immediately, but playing Steve. Maybe I should have played Raphaelos first and then Steve the turn after. That way Raphaelos could immediately tap. Oh, I'm a freaking idiot. Okay, it's cool, it's cool. I could have played a Gargaroth this turn. Maybe running into Counterspell though. So let's Rishin import his land because we're not doing anything else. Taps for blue, of course you do. Go to second main. Make him drop the mana. Hit with Steve. And then second main, caster Raphaelos. Yeah, we got there. I'm gonna sack this now so I don't forget again. So right now we can tap for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. One more land and we can hit a Hornet Queen. I will just jam a Gargaroth. So if he counters here, I think I leave up Llanowar Elves Rishin import and port down one of his islands on his, yeah, he had Counterspell. One of his islands on his upkeep. So let's upkeep stop set. And go through. Upkeep. Port down one of your blue sources. Do I want to Beast Within one of his blue sources? I'm not sure. But I will port down the other one. Do I care? And cast a face down Den Protector. Because I still only have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, right? So if I have 7, I can cast this for 3. Yeah, so I'm gonna have land left over to port down his stuff anyway. The real question is, do I want to force through this Den Protector now, or do I want to try to do it next turn? And tap another one on his upkeep. I think I play this face down Den Protector and I'm okay if it gets countered. Because if he has another 2-mana counterspell, I mean, what can he do? I'm gonna wait till his end step, see what he does. If he wants to use his mana, I'll let him. But if he leaves all of his mana up and just says go, I will probably port it. Yeah. Because the upside of drawing something like a forest here is just really big. Hestermite untaps a land. So that's an option. But this is a forest, and now how much do I tap for? 9? Cool. Let's undo all that. Let us attack with our Den Protector. Hope they block. Cool, you can block. I could flip it to return an Elder Gargaroth. Port down their dude. Yeah, let's do that. They have no pressure out. I think I like that more than I like casting Hornet Queen. So I flip this, I get back an Elder Gargaroth, I port down their only blue source, and then I cast an Elder Gargaroth, and that's going to be really hard for Mono Blue to deal with. And then I cast a Gargaroth. If they had pressure out, I'd probably do a Hornet Queen, because Hornet Queen is better at defense. But right now, this card will attack for 6. Yeah, like, what do they do? They're at 3 mana, it attacks for 6, it draws me cards, it's huge. I can probably play slower and put in larger creatures if I want, instead of things like this Skoos and stuff. I like Toski a lot, I like Court of Bounty a lot. I like this Arid Mesa less. I mean, but I think my main deck's sweet. I think my deck's pretty good. Cards that are really good that I haven't even seen and still been winning without them. Haven't ever seen Walking Ballista, haven't ever seen Great Henge, haven't ever seen Vivian, haven't ever seen Toski. And those are all like crazy cards that I could cast. This Vivian is actually insane. Being able to cast creatures from the top of your library and making a creature every turn and giving your like creatures effectively amazing cascade. Like, imagine if I had the Vivian out, I -2'd, played a Kozilek, got a Hornet Queen off of it. That'd be crazy. I think I like not having Avenger of Zendikar in the deck, because although I've been having a lot of mana, I think if I drew any more than that one Hornet Queen, I think it just felt bad. I really needed lands and stuff, so I think it's been working out. Turn 1, Llanowar Elves. I'm on the draw, I'll keep. I don't love it, but I don't hate it. Arbor Elf is better to play on turn 1. Is he gonna Force Spike? Oh, okay. I was scared for a second there. I don't think Force Spike's in the cube, though. I think it'd be sweet. I would also like to see Stifle in the cube, because Stifle's just a super fun card. I would actually like land, so I'm not going to play Prismatic Vista. I will just jam this Llanowar Elves. Swing in with this Arbor Elf, call it good. Next turn I'll have access to 5 mana. I could cast something like a Deep Forest Tournament or a Nissa. I don't want to play any of my insane threats immediately. Okay, NBM. I didn't want to play anything, actually. I don't want to fetch yet, because I'd rather be drawing lands. And even the marginal difference of getting 1 land out of my deck is still a difference. Sure, Walking Ballista X1. That Sweltering Suns was really good. If he didn't do it right then, I was probably going to play a Toski, and that's really hard for him to deal with. I actually don't know how he does it. His mana's really good, though. He's got a Scalding Tarn, a Fabled Passage, Volcanic, and Steam Vents. And those are just the lands that I've seen. I'm going to play this Skoos, and I am going to start I am gonna crack my fetch so that I can start eating stuff out of the graveyard. Because the bigger this gets, the better it gets. He probably... I don't think he counters it. I wouldn't. Not if he has removal. If he does counter it, I would say that he's really light on removal in his hand. Unless he, like, miscalcs it. But, like, imagine if he had, Daze, or, Stifle here. So he chooses, counter target spell, draw a card, draw a card. That's inconvenient, but okay. But imagine if he had Daze and Stifle here. That would be the most disgusting thing I've ever seen. I think I want to see Stifle in some sort of cube. Vintage cube, legacy cube. Anywhere it's legal. I think that card's busted. So he's going to draw 3, discard a land for compulsive. Firebolt, I will remove a counter, ping him. If I ever draw a 4th land, I get to start getting in with Toski, and it's... I actually don't know how he deals with that. Portent, basically a ponder. A worse ponder. Wait, can he do that to me? That's kind of crazy. I want to portent my opponents. Just a land here. That's all I want. And that's all I got. It doesn't look like he's playing white. Red doesn't deal with Toski. Blue can stall it, but he can't ever counter it. So it is like an inevitable threat. It will start drawing me cards. The best thing he can do is play a creature to block, but I haven't seen a single creature out of his deck yet. I think he's just control. Or a Spellseeker. There's no power, so I don't know what he's getting. Oh, he's getting a mana leak. That makes sense. That's a Ragavan. The nice thing is all of his creatures are X1s. So this is technically a land. He has to counter Deep Forest Hermit here. If he doesn't, Gaia's Cradle gets insane. So he mana leaks it. And now I'm live to drawing, or I'm live to just casting like Vivian and Nissa. I probably cast Nissa first just to get the mana down. But I almost want Vivian on the battlefield more. It just makes an army. He gets in a Ragavan hit. I'm a little bit scared of Ragavan. I'm actually terrified of the Zealous Conscripts. And that's really good to know about. Now I probably take out Kozilek for... This is so gross. I probably take out Kozilek for Avenger of Zendikar. Because if I cast a Kozilek and he Zealous Conscripts my Kozilek, I just lose. Like, I don't know what I do against that. This is pretty rough. Allosaur Shepherd is free, so I should cast it. Because it is mana neutral, so I cast it, can't be countered, And then I still get 5 off, or 2 off Gaia's Cradle, so I tap for 5 total. I play this Nissa, he counters it. Oh, he does Fire Prophecies. Okay, if that's all you're doing, man. The days. I get to draw a card. I probably should have cast this post-combat then. I don't know. That feels bad. That feels really bad. So casting it pre-combat, I get to swing in with a forest. Careful consideration, draws 4 cards, discards 3. If you cast a spell during your main phase, instead draw 4, discard 2. Okay. I didn't know they printed a card like that before. That's like, what's it called from Ravnica? The Azorius keyword. That's cool. I didn't really realize that they were tapped out, so I could have drawn a card off Tusky. Otherwise, I would have done that. And that's the kind of play that loses me the game. Is getting my Nissa dazed. No blocks. If I can resolve this Vivian, I can get back in this game. If I cannot resolve this Vivian, this game might be over. This can't be countered, right? Wait, no. Death Touch can't be blocked by power 2 or less. Combat damage will be dealt. Can't be prevented. Deals combat damage to an opponent. Okay, there's so many lines of text on Questing Beast. I'll jam a Vivian. Do you have another counterspell? Yes, you do. Of course you do. Begin combat, attack, pass turn. If Questing Beast said can't be countered, I would probably just jam it. But I am afraid of him just countering my Questing Beast and having that same effect. And he just leaves his Zealous Conscripts back to block my Tusky forever. Pass to him. I am just drawing gas though, like all the draws I've hit have been super good, all things considered. Like I haven't been drawing mana dorks, I haven't been drawing lands, which means that I'm just due for it, but like really, that's kind of crazy how good my draws have been. And he exiled a land for me? Sweet. Can't draw cards? Okay, cool. If he reveals a counterspell here, I will concede. That is not a counterspell. It's still really good. He is also very close to decking. But he also has me dead on board. So I need to draw something. Hornet Queen doesn't do it. I've already used my Derange Hermit, or my Deep Forest Hermit. What does it here? Maybe Beast Within? No counterspell Beast Within? Maybe even like a mana dork does it here. Just to chump this Ragavan. That would do it, except for the part that I can't cast it. I am one short. How am I one short? Thought it'd be more than that. Oh, Hornet Queen 7? I've been reading it wrong, man. This is also 7. I mean, I conceal information. I think he's already seen the Questing Beast, but just in case he forgot. He just valued me out of that game. I just couldn't do anything. Cards that I might want in. This Serpent seems really good, especially over this Ballista. This Barista. I'm not sure that I want Cave of the Frost Dragon Savannah. I think I'd just rather have them be Forest for Raphelos. And I just hope to get a busted start. Because my early game is what's good. Their early game is really bad. They board wiped and I could just never rebuild. Garrick Primal Hunter is probably worth bringing in over... Oh, I need to take Kozilek out, bring Avenger of Zendikar in. Garrick over Deep Forest Hermit. Because the thing is, Deep Forest Hermit puts a lot of bodies on the field, but then they just anger and I kind of lose. Garrick is hard for decks like them to deal with, control decks, because once it gets on the battlefield, it just generates value. I will keep this. And they have no real removal. They can't counter it because it's already on the battlefield. And so once it gets to that point, it's just really tough for control decks to do that. I lead on Noble Hierarch because I don't want to use up my treasure from Gilded Goose. Next turn I play Gilded Goose and Steve. And turn 3 maybe Nissa. If I'm not afraid of Counterspell or something. Or Daze. Daze is something I should probably be afraid of. I would actually like to draw a Forest because casting Turn Timber Symbiosis as a Magic card is really good. I just turn Timber into an Avenger of Zendikar and just get 3 1/1s because all my mana is in creatures. Oh, speak of the devil. Yes, I'd like to take 3 damage because my opponent doesn't apply any pressure whatsoever. I'd probably like to cast the Steve, because if the Goose gets countered, that's one thing, but the Steve is a permanent mana source. So my mana right now is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So if I draw a land, I can Nissa playing around Daze. If I draw a Gaia's Cradle, I'd probably just jam Avenger. See what happens. See what sticks. I need to not forget to crack my Steve, though. That's a red source, so it makes me a little bit more afraid of Sweltering Suns on turn 3. If he had played an island there, I wasn't going to be concerned. But he also doesn't have Counterspell now. He might still have Mana Leak, he might still have Daze. So if I don't draw a land here, yeah, like this. And I forgot to crack my Steve! What's wrong with me, man? So I swing in with Steve. It was all intentional. I wanted the 2 extra damage. And then I sacrifice him now, before I forget again. And I probably just play a 3/3 Stone Coil. Playing around Daze. And if he wants to mana leak me, I'm kind of cool with it. It's protection from multicolored, not monocolored, which is kind of annoying. Because if you just Sweltering Suns here, I don't know what I do. Yeah, Anger the Gods. That's just rough. But like, what do you do in that scenario? Do you just hold back? I play a land. Next turn, I try to jam Nissa. See what happens after that jam Vivian. And I'm just gonna jam threats every turn for the rest of the game if I draw a land, so I have to draw a land though. And that's a Pestermite. That's kind of rough. Ooh, Utopia Sprawl. Add a green. I might just crack this food now. I don't see a huge reason for it sitting on the battlefield. I don't have any synergies. I guess I have a very niche way. No, he exiled it, right? Yeah, so Gilded Goose isn't ever coming back. So I have no use for this food. I'll just crack it. Click. This is the rough part of the game. I need to be drawing lands. If I draw one more land, I'll feel much happier. Oh, he's got a negate. Of course he does. If I can draw something like a Questing Beast here, I would actually be really happy. Even a Toski wouldn't be bad. To Llanowar Elves. I don't want to run into Daze. And I know whatever I play gets countered. But I might just have to... I just have to play it out. I think the longer I wait, the worse it gets. If I play Llanowar Elves, next turn if I draw a land, I could play Avenger of Zendikar, but that plays into Daze. I don't know that he has Daze, but it's not surprising. I could just try to jam a Nissa right now, force out the negate. I know that this turn I'm not going to get anything done, so I don't want him to be mana efficient. So I will cast a Llanowar Elves and try to play next turn. But as it stands, he just wasted 2 mana. Okay, he didn't even do that. Jeez. My opponent's deck is really good. It seems like my style. I love playing Counterburn. Blue Moon was my modern deck for 2 years, 3 years. That's all I ever played. That's exactly my style. I'm on Hollow One now, but that's only because it's not vomit-inducing anymore. Back when it was tier 1, I couldn't stand the deck. I never wanted to play it because it was disgustingly good. He Nissa ticks down. I'm not sure that's correct. Unless he has no counter spells in hand. Mystic Confluence, of course. Oh? Oh. Again, a Questing Beast here would be really good. I'd be able to kill the Nissa, hit him. He wouldn't be able to counter because he has a negate up. Unless he also has Mana Leak. That's an Allosaurus Shepherd. Can't be countered. Green spells can't be countered. Oh, but I don't have 6 mana anymore. I think I have to wait. I think I wait until I draw a land. And once I draw a land, I Allosaurus Shepherd, jam a Nissa. And do it that way? Or do I jam a Vivian? Which do I play? Oh, are they targeting me? Okay, good. If they targeted me, I would actually be concerned. If I jam Vivian, I get to start casting creatures off the top of my library. I get to start making beasts, and that's a lot of value. If I cast Nissa, I get lands that can start attacking. I think I want to cast Vivian if I draw a land. Because the mana off Nissa isn't really going to do anything, and that's just a 3/3 with Vigilance. And I can do the exact same thing with Vivian, but be able to cast more cards, and that just seems good. That is a land. I am going to cast an Allosaurus Shepherd, and I am going to have a good time. If my opponent removal spells into counter, I mean, what are you going to do? They have it all. Which is exactly what happens. I'm not surprised. Maybe I wait for them to tap out more, but I don't think they ever do. I think that was as good a shot as I'm gonna get, and it just didn't work out. My opponent's deck is really good. I like it a lot. Because so let's say I'm my opponent. If I try to wait for them to tap out more, play the Allosaurus Shepherd, play the Vivian, then start making creatures. I mean, as my opponent, I would never tap out more than this. I think this is the most tapped out you get. And even then, instant sorcery spells cost 1 less to cast, so he'd still be able to do that for 2 mana. A Braid and then negate. And he's got a counter spell. My opponent's deck is just really good. Why didn't I draft that deck? Scavenging News. I mean, I'm just gonna concede. I've seen enough. GG's. So let's try to go 2-1. Try to get our money back, so we can go again. But I'm having a good time. I've never drafted mono green before. I haven't drafted a lot of... I don't think I've ever actually drafted Legacy Cube. Maybe I've drafted once, but I've drafted a little bit of Vintage Cube. I've drafted once or twice of Pioneer Cube. A lot of the stuff that I've done with drafting has been on Arena. I drafted a lot of Ikoria. I drafted a lot of Arena Cube. Stuff like that. I haven't been playing Moto Cubes very often, even though I enjoy them. It's just usually when I have time and I look, they're just not something that I like. It's like these weird cubes that don't really interest me. But some of them are fun. Live the Dream Cube is a cube that I've never gotten to play, but I really want to. Because playing wild, big stuff seems like so much fun. Late game combos that you could never achieve in a normal match seem right up my alley. I am playing the last match with a bad mana base, and that is my fault. I keep this. I got to play every single match though, which is really convenient. Playing Plains Island, so he's probably gonna path whatever I play. But I'm okay with that. So I could turn Timber tapped. Play it that way. I could also just play a Gilded Goose. Tap down their land on upkeep. That seems good. So I play Gilded Goose. I have mana. I play Rishon and Port on their upkeep. I am going to tap it down. For no other reason than they didn't do anything last turn. They're not likely to do something this turn. And if I can, yeah, like, unless they have Mana Tithe specifically, I'm good to go. And if they have Mana Tithe on my Nissa, you freaking got me, man. I'll give it to you. That's sweet. So I tap, untap. Tap this. Sacrifice a food. Do you have Mana Tithe? Oh, they have days. Ah. Should I have played around that? I don't know. It's 2 cards in the entire cube that I don't even know are in their deck that get them there. I'm not sure. I think I should. I think I should be playing around stuff like that more often. How much is Great Henge? 6. I do want to cast an Allosaurus Shepherd because it will be big. So let's actually count my mana. I have 1, 2, 3, 4. I can level this up to 3 protection from instants, and I think that's probably worth it. The alternative is casting Allosaurus Shepherd, getting a Gilded Goose. But next turn, this guy's at 4, then I can tap for Great Henge, and that seems really good. So leveling this guy up is probably my best use of time. Protection from instants, which is really good. Great Henge value. Hex Drinker is just such a good card. That card's insane. The second it was printed, I said, this is not as good as Teferi the Time Raveler, is what I said in my heart. Gosh, that's a good Magic card. Yeah? I mean, let's do it again. What are you gonna do? I'll even Allosaurus Shepherd this time. Next turn, I have to put 5 mana into it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I could give it protection from everything. I'm not going to do that, though, until this Teferi's gone. Because I'm really afraid of him using a sorcery. Something like Prismatic Ending. Great Henge, though, is super worth getting down. Probably just like this. I could use it to Beast Within. Cool, counter it. Do it. No. Get got. My opponent's probably so confused. He's like, oh, I forgot. I want to swing all in this Teferi. Attack with all creatures. Attack with all creatures. Teferi. Leave back the goose. Kill this Teferi. Unless he's got Prismatic Ending. Into the Royal. Target non-land permanent to its hand. Returns the 1/1. I mean, that feels good for me. I get to just cast it off Great Henge, gain some life, draw a card. That seems great. You want to put something else into my hand? I don't know why they didn't return Allosaurus Shepherd. Do I care about making a food? I think not as much as drawing an extra card. So, tap Great Henge for 2 mana, gain 2 life just because it's tapped. This will enter, it will get a 1 encounter. I'll get some extra stuff. And I get to use the other to level up Hex Drinker. So next turn, I'll probably level up Hex Drinker all the way. Have a protection from everything. And that would be really nice. But I'm still really scared of this Teferi. Yeah, Council's Judgment. What are you voting for? Hex Drinker? Makes sense. I can't be too upset. I made such a scary threat, though, that he had to use his guaranteed removal spell on it. That is a Murktide Regent. That is dying. So how much mana do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have plenty of mana. I have plenty of mana. Leave up Rishadan Port or Gilded Goose. More than likely Gilded Goose. Oops. Always yield. Always yield. That is a Toski. I mean, I pass. I don't want to tap out yet. But there is a chance that I just forget to tap Arbor Elf and Gilded Goose. Ah. Oh, that's kind of wacky. That's really good. Will of the Council. Voting for what? Votes for Great Henge. That's actually really rough. I probably should have gotten rid of this Jace. So I will get rid of this Murktide, because then I can get rid of everything else. And I will play a Toski. So I'm not a huge fan of Gilded Goose as a card. Because of situations like this, where this has just been nothing this entire game. Oh, I won. Sweet. It's not like the card's bad, but it's like, if I just had a Birds of Paradise, I'd rather be playing it. It's nice in certain situations. What was my opponent doing? Jason Teferi and all that? What do I want? Murktide? Do I want... I can always splash white if I really want to. Let's play 13 lands. That's what I want to do. I like playing big dudes against control. I don't think they can deal well with go wide strategies. So I do like keeping the Deep Forest Tournament in. I haven't seen any Wraths like the last guy. Questing Beast is still really good. Court of Bounty is probably worth it. I actually probably want to go up one land against them, because I want to be hitting my land drops. Probably go down the Gilded Goose. I like Walking Barista, but maybe it comes out. Maybe it's just not as good as the other cards in my deck, which is a crazy thing to say. This is definitely a mulligan. This is much less clear. Keep putting... I don't like Hermit as much as I like Gargaroth. Gargaroth just wins games. Turn 1, Llanowar Elves, because it's less important. That's a turn 2 Jace again. So I could flip a Den Protector, but I don't see what that does for me. If I Allosaurus Shepherd and a Noble Hierarch, I get to attack in with Llanowar Elves. If I draw a land next turn, I get to get a Gargaroth down, and that's pretty big. I've seen Raphelos very little. Okay, so that would be good, except that I cannot cast it. Do I attack? No, I attack like this. That was probably incorrect. I probably should have cast Den Protector before that. Maybe I just want to cast a flip Den Protector, apply pressure. If I cast it full right now, then I think it gets dazed, and that's... No, it can't get dazed. I have an Allosaurus Shepherd. I would love to see him try. He's done it before. I want to see him do it again. Oh, he cycled it. I thought he cast it. I really did. So I have no desire to flip this Megamorph anytime soon. I do have a desire to get rid of this Jace sometime soon. It is a Kozilek that I cannot cast. Kind of by a lot. So I could attack for 1, 2, 3, 4. Or I could just attack for 3. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. But then I run into other things. I think I just attack with this. Because if he has like a Pestromite, that's really bad for me because he just blocks my Allosaurus Shepherd and I lose. So then it's the same as casting or attacking with Den Protector and Llanowar Elves. And in that scenario, I might as well just attack with the one creature that's bigger than the 2/2 and the 1/1. I'm surprised they didn't get something engraved first to try to... Boo! Nibblethip? So I can flip this Den Protector to match this Wall of Omens. But I think I'd much rather cast a Nissa. Or maybe a Gargaroth. I like Nissa because that represents a lot of mana next turn. And this turn. It represents a lot of pressure. Because I do get to attack with this to get exalted, to get around this wall of omens. And then I can use it to flip Den Protector if something bad happens. So if he goes to kill my Nissa, I can just float the mana, flip Den Protector after it dies. Have a good time. So he gets to flip Jace, but there's nothing that I'm scared of in his graveyard. And he discards to Fairy? What is wrong? What does he have in his hand? What does he have that's so good? If he's really just doing that, that's good for me. I don't know what he has in his hand that makes him discard Teferi Time Rattler. That card's insane. I don't want to flip this. I don't care enough. I'd rather cast like a Kozilek or something. So first, let me make sure that I can kill this guy. I really need to kill Jace. This is probably bad. I should have done this post-combat. Do I do this, or do I cast a Hornet Queen for now? I think I just cast Kozilek. Because if he deals with it, then guess what? I flip in response, I put it back into my hand, and then life is good. And as it stands, you would have to use a lot of resources, probably some really good removal spells, to actually kill my Kozilek. And I drew 4 cards off of it. I don't like Council's Judgment, but if he just, like, I don't know, kills it somehow? I don't know what he'd do. If he returns it to my hand? Oh, he's drawing 3. I was like, if you return it to my hand, that's your fault. That's the worst thing I could think of. He's probably going to Council's Judgment. The worst card would be Fractured Identity. If he Fractured Identity my Kozilek, that would be really bad. Supreme Verdict, huh? And this doesn't have Indestructible. Yeah. Dang, you got me. That's pretty rough. But it's cool because my graveyard shuffles back in. And I do get to cast Hornet Queen next turn. Because Nissa's busted. It's a Murktide, but again, Hornet Queen's better than that, so I'm not too afraid. So let's play a forest, tap Utopia Sprawl of Forest on green, tap for green, untap the non-Utopia Sprawled Forest, tap for green, cast a Hornet Queen. Counter target spell. Okay, you got it. You may force and negation me. I can think of worse things in the world. So he gets to attack my Nissa once, which is actually pretty bad. But I do get to hopefully kill his Jace. Maybe not kill, but damage his Jace pretty badly. Dang, not having this Allosaurus Shepherd's pretty rough, actually. I will tap 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a Elder Gargaroth. Let us commence the beatings. Go to combat. I'll attack Jace. This Elder Gargaroth's a problem for him. He could cast Mystic Confluence from his graveyard. That would be pretty good, but he'd have to trade in Jace to do it. Probably worth it for him. Or he Elspeth Conquers Deaths, and that's kind of bad for me as well. Jeez, is he really gonna get there? Oh, I'm drawing only lands. I'd like to attack Narset. Do I feel like this Jace needs to go that badly? Probably. Attack with both creatures at Jace. That Jace is probably more terrifying to me than this Narset. The Narset gets a random spell off of its down tick, and I'm really not drawing any cards, so I don't care. The Jace, on the other hand, guaranteed gets back Mystic Confluence, which is a draw 3, and that's pretty rough for me. This is just a timely Murktide, and then he had a Pact of Negation. He drew the right cards at the right time. That was really good on him. And I Kozilek, and I peeled, and he peeled that perfect Supreme Verdict, which then allowed him to counter. Yeah. Is he gonna try to race me? I don't think that's a good idea. Unless he has another huge creature. Oh. I'm not sure I agree with that either. Except he's probably gonna get it back with ECD. Okay, so let's cast a Den Protector face down. The hope is that I can resolve this, flip it, get back my Hornet Queen. Because Hornet Queen is a clock. Making like 5 flying damage. Gosh. Is a clock. This is rough. Having a rough time. So what, just gets back Murktide and starts beating down? What can I draw here? Can I just stall and hope for him to deck out? Do I have an answer to this Murktide? That's a huge Shark Typhoon. I just don't know what I draw in this situation that gets me out of this. Maybe another land? That'd be nice. Okay, so back to sideboarding. Is there anything I'd do differently? Maybe just have bigger fatties? Because like a lot of these earlier cards just don't do a whole lot against him. Scavenging Ooze is really, really good against him. If I could get that down, that'd be sweet. Then Protector's nice. Toski is alright. I haven't seen a Court of Bounty. But these bigger threats are just kind of hard for him to deal with. So I think I'd like them in. Um, I'd probably just like this Garrick in as well. Because if I can just get a bunch of Planeswalkers down, I don't know what he does. Just makes 2/2s every turn. I don't know, maybe that's not good. I don't know what I'd take out for it. I'll leave the deck. I think it's fine. Yes, I'd like to win the die roll. Turn 1 Utopia Sprawl. I don't think I can keep this. It does have Allosaurus Shepherd, but it's so risky, and it doesn't really go anywhere. I don't really like this hand either, but it does something. Not a lot. I think it's better than a 5. I think I can get some explosive 5s. This isn't it! This isn't an explosive 5! Yeah, I'll keep. I think I just needed to see a Raphaelos, and I'm super into it. I wanted to see any sort of like... Oh, that's really good. I'm actually really happy with this Scavenging Ooze here. But if I could have gotten like, if this forest was a Mana Dork, I would have gotten a Mana Dork this turn as well. And then I hopefully peel land and just jam a Nissa. That's a Hex Drinker though. That's pretty big. I will begin combat attack with my Skoos. Hope he into the Royals or something. No, there's no way he does. Do I just cast my Hex Drinker? He could have Miscalc. He would have to have exactly Counterspell. I think I'm okay with that because Mana Leak doesn't do it. Miscalc doesn't do it. I think I'm fine with taking the risk of him having exactly Counterspell, which he doesn't. Because if he doesn't, this gets protection of instants, and the card just gets much better. He'd have to play a Teferi to deal with it. Then I get to kill the Teferi. I get to play the card again. It's just a nice tempo play from me. Yeah, something like that. So the way I see it is that was just kind of like a time walk on both sides. I spent my turn to negate his turn and deal 2 damage to him. I'm fine with that. I think that was a mistake. I get to kill his Teferi, play a Hex Drinker, what could he play here that I'm scared of? Getting stuff from his graveyard? I don't think anything. Do I want to tap down his white source? Or do I want to level this up to gain protection? The 2 cards that really return things to my hand are already done. The other card would be Cryptic. In which case, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 next turn. Which means if I level up 3 times this turn, he has to deal with this. And what if he just has Supreme Verdict? What do I do then? I think I level up once, and I Rishadan Port on his upkeep. This white source. Because you won't have 4 mana for Cryptic. You won't have a white source for Supreme Verdict. I think that's probably the way to go. Hope to hit something like Mana Source. Gosh, should I just be playing more lands? One, two, three, four, five. I can play a Scoos. I don't like that as much as just leveling this up to a 4/4. And Rishida importing their white source again. Because they have a lot of blue, but they really don't have a whole lot of white. Begin combat, attack. They have to Council's Judgment or Supreme Verdict, and if I just port down their white source, that's... Ah! What am I doing? It's really difficult for them. Oh, but they have the third white source. What am I gonna do? Oh, they didn't have anything. Play a forest? Do I just do it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can play around days. I can play Garrick around days. Draw some cards, which seems really good. Yeah, I'm cool with that. I have no use for this 1 mana, so I might as well use it to level up this Hex Drinker. Next turn, I put 3 counters on it, and it just gets huge. This Jace can flip. It can hit into the Royal. Oh, you have got to be kidding me. Oh my gosh. It's a miracle. I mean, you do it, right? Is he thinking like, oh, if I hit a land, I can hard cast it and then flip Jace and keep my Jace? Because that is so greedy. If he does it, I'll commend him, but that is incredibly greedy. He's doing it? No. He discarded Terminus. What is in his hand? This guy's making just weird plays, and he's winning. I mean, if he just Supreme Verdicts here, I mean, I don't know what I do. Playing Nissa, I guess. He'd better have had that land in hand, otherwise that is the greediest thing I've ever seen. But I do get to Nissa, kill his Jace, and go ham. You have got to be kidding me. Am I just playing poorly? Should I not be playing into these dazes and stuff? I just don't feel like playing that slow is correct. He is casting a Shark Typhoon. Cool. That's a Raphelos. This is a Scavenging Ooze. I'm gonna make some big dudes. I'm going to eat his Into the Royal. Eat his Teferi Time Raveler. and cry a little bit on the inside. I cannot cast this Hornet Queen. I can tap down his Tundra. This is pretty rough. I'm not sure if I should just be playing more around days and stuff. Like right here, do I just jam the card? He's already shown me his days. I think I just play it. But then he counters it? Yeah, like, I don't know what I do about that. I'm just in a bad spot. I'll go ahead and give it to him. GG's, opponent. That was rough. Do I think playing... Did it not concede? Oh, it did concede. Do I think playing slower and playing around things like days is worth it? In that scenario, I don't think so. I think with 3 cards in hand, no land in hand, I just have to... I think I jam the Nissa. And if he just has the days, he has the days. Because otherwise, there's nothing else I do with my hand. I just sit there and wait, and that's not good for me. Maybe the Raphelos. Cast the Raphelos. Try to play around that way. But I just... That feels so bad. As a control player, if I make that risky play, that extremely greedy Jace into discard Terminus into cast Terminus with flashback, if I make a play like that and my opponent just says Raphelos go, I'm like, oh, it worked out, everything's perfect, and I just start to generate the advantage. I think that was my chance to generate advantage, and I think it was correct to slam the Nissa, because if I get the Nissa down there, I kill his Jace, I have a Nissa on board, very difficult for him to deal with. I think I win that game. He just had the days. And that was the one card besides... He had days and Force of Negation. I'm sorry, not Force of Negation. Pact of Negation. As 2 cards in his deck that won him that scenario, and he just had him. And I guess that's just good deck building, but that was rough. That was rough. My opponent played well. I can't be upset. I don't think I would make any changes to my play, though. I think earlier in the games, I played into days times when I shouldn't have, and I would change that. But I think that specific scenario, I think was... I think I still jam Nissa. Try to generate advantage right there. That was my opening, and he just had the cards. He set up really well. The reason he was playing so greedy is because he could afford to. He had the days in hand. Man, good on the opponent. Sweet, well, if you enjoyed this, thanks so much for watching. Watch some of my other stuff. I've been playing Storybook Brawl recently. That's a really fun game. And I'll try to do more Magic content. Anyway, see you guys.